Hi guys, welcome back to the Funky Evolution Party. I'm Alice Green and today is Funky Friday. Um, it's pissing down with rain outside. I should have gone to London Zoo to help them dig and do whatever, but I've decided to drink some whiskey and read some poetry instead. Really just wanted to touch base and talk about all the bullshit that's been going on this week, from banning the Bible, like really, to going in and basically allowing these people to use war instead of the law, and threatening, intimidation, all of this uneducated, barbaric behaviors. Because I don't need to bully people if I'm coming at you with facts. I don't need to intimidate you and make you feel like you're something below me if I'm coming at you with intelligence. And this is where we want to talk about civil versus barbaric. And it's very important that we get this right, because this is the turning point. We have a choice, and this is where free will comes into play. And everyone's like, I can't. Actually, every single individual on this planet has the power to stand up and say, no, I do not agree with this. I'm not going to allow you to spend all our taxes cutting our services, trying to take away free school meals so you can go and blow up children and women and journalists and doctors and God knows whatever else in other countries. And all the protests that we've seen at universities, educated individuals being beaten up by police, and we've really been shown that actually we have no freedom in the West. It's all masked, right? It's everyone's wearing a mask and they're like, you're free as long as you don't fucking say anything. You're free as long as you go and pay into this system that you don't agree with. You're free unless blah blah blah. The US talking about journalist freedom while 100 and something journalists have just been killed in 6 months, and they're holding Julian Assange, I don't say hostage, because he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't actually been convicted of anything yet. He's going to be extradited to the US. Like, come on, it's starting to get ridiculous. And I don't mean just a little bit ridiculous. This is beyond a joke ridiculous, to the point where drinking whiskey for breakfast is the only way you're going to get through this day. And I don't know. I would like to think that humanity has learned from its lessons and its past lives, and that we're going to honor our ancestors in learning from their mistakes and then progressing in a civil, educated manner, instead of bullies, barbarism, gangsters. It's not 1962. I'm sorry, but I can't buy into this bullshit. I can't be expected to sing the same old song that you guys keep harping on at me. It's like, no, let's change the tune and let's put something that's a little bit more high vibe on, where individuals feel empowered to get into their own neighborhoods and start making things happen. And this is the difference, is although globally it seems overwhelming, if you start on your doorstep, things will change very, very quickly. I can't tell you how glorious my doorstep is. It's every time I step in there, I'm just like, wow, because at the end of the day, although I've got a lot to say out there, I don't then just think someone else is going to do shit for me. I get up and I do shit for myself. And this is the fundamental difference between me and everybody else. And there's a lot of people like me, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of people that are relying on others to do things for them, to make decisions for them, to say, hey, you know what? You give me all this money, and I'll look after you, by threatening and intimidating you and then taking away all your services and then spending billions of pounds in arms and services. And what's really good is that the day that the UK government announced that it was going to do this massive new army spend, 3 horses, British Army horses, threw an officer off the horse and then rampaged through London. That I would consider as a protest from the actual armed horses, not forces. And it's really important that we look at all the messages that are being sent to us, because God speaks to us in mysterious ways. And you want to talk to me about Catholicism, you want to talk to me about Christianity, you want to talk to me about Judaism and Islam and Buddhism, when none of you are actually practicing the fundamentals. And that is that you are here to service, you are here to be of service to people and the planet, not the other way around. And until we flip the script, things are going to keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. And instead of evolving, we will regress to a point where can't say anything, can't do anything, can't move. Now, are we going to allow this to happen? Or are we going to stand up and fight for our rights and say, no, we're not going to do this anymore? We, the people who are quite sensible, you expect me to follow your laws, but then in the international community, you don't want to follow laws. You want to blindside yourself to your criminality, but if I do something here, then I get arrested. It seems just, I don't even know what words to use for this, because the criminals are running the planet, and us people who have something to say about it are the ones who are being treated like criminals. And I keep saying this, very soon it's going to be safer to be in a prison cell than it is to be on the streets, with the way that this system that nobody is questioning is ticking its wheels. You know, you've got Europe, oh, this, we're so free, while we go and commit genocide and blow other countries up and act like bullies and gangsters. And my friends, guess what happens to your friends? They get stabbed in the neck, or something happens to your friends. You know, we can't base business on friendships. I'm sorry, but I'm a management consultant. So if you want to come to me and tell me your problems and tell me that, oh, my friends, fuck you, where are the facts? These are the facts. This is the law. You know the rules. If you want to bend those rules for your friends, you become a criminal like your friends. End of story. You know, this goes out to the International Criminal Court. I was so disappointed with your decision about Germany and selling arms. You know what's happening. Why are you like putting cotton wool on things? You can't stop the bleeding. The only way to stop the bleeding is by arresting these people that think that they can get away with cold-blooded murder, drug dealing, organ harvesting, trafficking. The list goes on, and you're paying for this. That's what I want to make clear, is your taxes pay for this and not their taxes. Because guess what? They know how to like duck and dive and swing and make sure they're not paying into the system. They're keeping it all in their back pockets, while you can't pay your bills, can't do anything, yet you're funding the destruction of other countries, of women, children, journalists, doctors. Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Where are we taking society? Because for me, it's a prison sentence. And unless we have the balls to go, like these students. Have you seen what's been happening in America, where intellectual individuals are protesting and they're being met with violence? And, you know, again, I want to make it clear, anti-Semitism is one thing. The Zionist occupation is a completely other thing. And to have a bunch of people, and they're not, I wouldn't call them Jewish, because this is where we are confusing the lines of what's right and what's wrong. Chinese whispers. Thousands of years passed before anyone decided to write religion down. I can give 10 minutes in a room of saying something in someone's ear and it will be completely different by the end of it. Understand that God doesn't favor people or certain groups of people. He favors those individuals who do the work that was set out, which is to be of service, whether that be going and digging up green spaces, whether that be helping others. At the end of the day, your job on this planet isn't just to be a consumer, wastefulness, live in this society that they've created. It could be so different. But it's up to me and it's up to you to change that, to say, we're not putting up with this anymore. We're not having 86-year-old dinosaurs who are so senile, they don't know their head from their fucking asses, and that's you, Joe Biden, and the rest of your cronies in the US, who think that you can bully the world It's not going to happen anymore because we're in tourist season. Time to grab the bull by the horns and push back on this bullshit. I'm really tired of it. When I get to the point, there's no holding back. I take no prisoners. You're all going out. And whatever way it comes, there is no escaping being taken out. And we've seen that with the Israelis who wanted to sacrifice a cow, and then 3 or 4 of them ended up with car accidents, breaking all their bones. If it's not coming from me or the people, God will make sure justice is served. But it takes us, Christianity, Catholicism, all of those religions, to drop our bullshit, to realize we all follow the same principles, the same laws of humanity. Now, let's focus on the basics. 10 requirements only. No, I'm only giving you 4. Food, fashion, humor, and music. But if we were to break things down and see where the similarities were instead of the differences, I'm so different from you. Fuck you. Take away the pigmentation and melanin, you're all the same. And you're boring. And that's just very clear to me. Maybe I'll do a whole thing on like the craziest animals on the planet who can change colours, who can change everything. And then you want to tell me you're interesting? Fuck off. I'm sorry. Maybe too much whiskey for breakfast, but that is the only way to make this clear to you guys. You have the power in your hands. Stop giving it to others to lead you down a path of destruction. I'm not going to sit back and keep watching this bullshit happen. I'm going to keep trying to push for these changes, and you should too. So please like, share, and get the message out there.